Hi, I'm Mike Regan with TransAct's 2-Minute Warning for the week of October 28th. As we noted in last week's 2-Minute Warning, we attended the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals annual conference in Denver, Colorado. And there were a lot of great sessions, but one particular that I want to share with you in this 2-Minute Warning was a session entitled What Keeps You Up at Night? It was a roundtable discussion with about 30 shippers, third parties, and carriers where we went around a room and talked about the kind of issues that are creating some angst and concern in the transportation, logistics, and supply chain space. Now, it was a common theme. There were two things that were at the top of the menu. And the top two issues that are keeping people up at night is the ability to recruit and retain top talent in order to manage your supply chains. And the second one dealt with carrier capacity. Specifically, are we going to see a significant increase in rates if capacity gets tighter? And the reason this was brought up by a lot of people was because there was some confusion. You see, a lot of people have been reading the articles and listening to the podcasts and webinars that basically highlight the fact that the carriers aren't adding a lot of capacity. Now, we've talked about that in a lot of 2-minute warnings, but what really brings it home was what one shipper asked me. And they said, Mike, if in fact capacity were going to be as tight as some would suggest, wouldn't we start to see rate increases be a lot higher than what we've seen this year? And the answer to that question is yes, you will see rate increases higher if the economy ever picks up. Because right now, that is the only thing that is constraining capacity. Now, why do we bring that up? Well, we've been reviewing a lot of the quarterly reports that have been filed by the publicly traded carriers. And it's interesting to read those reports because one of the things we've seen in several of them was the carriers commenting on the fact that it is in fact costing them more to operate their business. There have been increases in cost in many of the critical areas. And yet they haven't been able to pass along these increases in the form of higher rates. And they've noted that the only reason that they haven't been able to get higher rates is because demand is still soft. So one shipper asked me this question. He said, Mike, it seems like we're basing a lot of our decisions on a continued assumption that the economy is going to be weak. But shouldn't we be in fact asking what will happen if the economy picks up, and specifically look at what type of rate increases we could see? And that's what we've been encouraging to do in a lot of 2-minute warnings. And that's why we like to remind everyone when they watch these 2-minute warnings that we are on your team and we're here to help. And we have a wealth of information and some great tools that you can use to conduct the kind of analysis that you'll need to do in order to understand how an improving economy will impact your rate structures in the future. And if you want access to those tools or some great information, give us a call today. Thanks for your time.